Thank you, everybody. And I'm going to try to actually be briefer than I would ordinarily be because it's late. And I also want to remind everybody, just as a joke, that if you vote for me for county commissioner for endorsement, that's one less candidate in the House race and probably going to save you like 10, 15 minutes. So just by the way of qualifications and background, I don't know how many of you know my history, but I've been mostly a consultant type my whole life. I worked for Accenture, one of the largest consulting firms in the world, IBM, mostly in consulting type roles or solving sales consulting type things. I went off on my own, did a lot of work for SAP, Samsung, Dell Computer, a lot of companies. So I have a lot of experience with solving problems. So that is the key thing. And based on what we've seen in some of the presentations here, we need to solve some technology and other issues in our county. And as the Republicans, to maintain dominance of this county, we need to show the electorate that we're bringing innovation, new ideas, fresh people, things that are going to make a difference in their lives. And that's why I'm running for county commissioner, because I think, or I'm requesting your endorsement for county commissioner. I'm not going to run if I'm not endorsed. But because I think we need new blood, fresh talent, new ways of looking at things. Another thing I think we need to do is send a message to some in this party that we need to reform. The whole notion of, I can't vote, we change the rules on the fly, it's crazy. This meeting, if you were in the last endorsement meeting, big endorsement meeting, you'd realize how inefficient, this is a great example. This is a great example of a message needs to get sent that we have got to change and reform. We have got to be open to different ideas. We have to actually say we appreciate the First Amendment both out in public and in our own meetings. So I put a handout on your seats, and on it, it has my 100-day platform. These are things, commissioners only 1 of 3, so you need to get another vote. But the things that I would actually work for: remove carry preemption on county buildings, privatize the animal shelter, start to wind down the horrible FC Cincinnati deal that we're still subsidizing today and they pay no taxes. Seek to make sure that the county government, to the degree it can, is doing what it can to keep woke culture out of our county and the way it's interacting. One of the places we might want to get rid of woke culture first is our own Department of Health in the county, who had no problem enforcing all sorts of mask mandates and stuff like that, and with the complicity of the commissioners. Virtual citizen public participation. Look for a way to cut 10% from our spending. How many Republicans run for office on cutting spending, and how many actually do? I'll put forward a plan to actually cut spending. Lobby for the repeal of House Bill 6 that benefited nuclear power plants, while our river towns with power plants got absolutely nothing out of it. Release the prosecutor opinion on masks and their legality being enforced in our county. Eliminate paid political aids from the commissioners. And this is an important one. Get Ken Geis to, if I could get another commissioner vote, take over economic development for Clermont County, which I know I can do. In fact, I have a letter from Mr. Geis saying I can do it. And think about the impact that would have. Those of you that don't know it, Ken Geis is the mastermind behind Union Township's success. He gets demonized by people that can't really, how does the saying go, couldn't hold his jockstrap or something like that, not to be offensive. He gets demonized by people unjustly when he has done miraculous things and done more in this county to create tens of thousands of good jobs, not retail jobs, fast food jobs, ancillary jobs. And we need that attitude in the county. And that's a key role of a commissioner, is to actually get economic development. So 4 years after I'm in office, all 3 commissioners that are there can point to a real difference of new good jobs. And we, in trying to maintain our dominance as a Republican Party, can say we actually brought new good jobs. I think we're at high risk in our county. Some of the speeches I've heard here tonight are like, we're not even in touch. Could you imagine if the outside public was listening to some of the speeches where we're not talking about innovation, we're not talking about forward-thinking things, we're not moving fast? Now, another reason I think you should vote for me in this endorsement is on the back side of this card. The bottom part of it, and there's actually a QR code because they're not my social media posts. Miss Batchler signed a pledge and tried to get her people to other people. Again, a good example why send a message, vote for me. Okay, tried to get her to, a pledge, tried to get the competition, John Becker and John McGraw, to sign a pledge saying she would only run for one term. John McGraw and John Becker might remember that. She was only going to run for one term. There's pictures of her actually holding her finger up at an event telling people, I'm only going to run for one term. The top part of that is something Mr. Becker found. She claimed that for her whole life she was a Republican. Well, it turns out that she was a Democrat through the Clinton years, voting in Democrat primaries reliably. I don't think you forget that you were a Democrat when Ronald Reagan was president or that you were a Democrat when Bill Clinton was president. So I think we need to also move this party towards more integrity, more integrity with our voter base, that we don't support this kind of stuff of constantly having candidates run that just betray their word left, right, and center. Thank you very much. Send a message. Vote for Chris Hicks for endorsement for commissioner.
Any question of Mr. Hicks? Mr. Kibler.
Many times you said you wanted the Democrats to have a chance to be elected. And you had breakfast with Vivian Poe. Where in the hell are you telling us you're a Republican when you spend all your time with the Democrats?
Well, see, this is another example. I'd never had breakfast with Vivian Poe. I did have a beer with her once at Jungle Gyms. This notion that I spend all my time with Democrats, you know, I spend a lot of time, maybe you come to my neighborhood sometimes, Jim, I think some of the guys I hang out with there would like meeting you, but it's completely ridiculous. This is the kind of thing that we need to send a message that we need change in our party. Because if we keep being like this and we keep putting the same people up for office, I can guarantee you we're going to move the wrong direction. And I'm the one, see now I'm the bad guy, kind of like Trump. I'm the bad guy because I'm the one that's been sounding the alarm bells for a long time. That the way we're doing things and our lack of new talent and our lack of innovation is putting us at great risk. And we are now seeing that materialize. And Jim, I think the fare boost is a great thing. I'm all for it. But it is not reaching the part of the county that is 65% of the vote in this county that is going blue. And those people need to see that we are bringing real solutions, new jobs, not just the same old stuff and the same old candidates that have never gone out and connected with voters. Many of them never been opposed in a race.
Another question for Mr. Hicks. Mr. Snow.
Mr. Hicks, you're pretty quick to point out some rhinos in our caucus here, and I just wondered, is it true that you donated hundreds of dollars to Mitt Romney in 2012, and that you also donated hundreds of dollars to Carly Fiorina in 2015?
I don't remember whether I donated to Mitt Romney, but I might have. If you go look at my personal Facebook page, if you look from the side, I think I was wearing a Mitt Romney hat. It's an old picture of me and my son.
I was actually looking at the donation.
So I'm trying to answer your question. Is it okay to answer the question, or was it just meant to set me up for some false?
You want to answer the question?
So I'm trying to answer the question. Okay. So I don't know that I gave money to Mitt Romney. I might have. Probably like a lot of us in the room, thought that Mitt Romney was a good guy at one point in time. Right? I'm sure this party was behind Mitt Romney at one point in time. In terms of Carly Fiorina, I did like Carly Fiorina at first when she ran in the primary in 2016, but then she started going after Trump. And one thing you didn't mention, sir, is that I have given thousands and thousands of dollars to the Trump campaign. You didn't mention that one because you wanted to bring up Mitt Romney and Carly Fiorina. I have nothing to be embarrassed about. There's a lot of people that in this room that have given $0 to the Trump campaign, but like to stand up and say that they are Trump people. So I hope that helps to address your question.
Any other questions? Mr. Thomas.
Chris, as you know, you always say you're against endorsements in this county. Why are you seeking the endorsement of this organization?
Because I think we're at a point, well, let me tell you, I'm going to be real clear on it. Because in 2018, I stood up here and told people to vote for no endorsement. Who was on the committee in 2018? And you voted for no endorsement. And I was running against Ms. Fraley. And the executive committee, in the 11th hour, put her on the endorsement card when she was not endorsed. They canceled 2 central committee meetings. And then the people handing out the cards at the polls because there was a committeeman revolt over it were people that were tied with Linda Fraley, wearing Fraley shirts, handing out our endorsements cards with her name highlighted in yellow on them. That was wrong. And I'm dumb on some things. But fool me once, fool me twice. So right now I'm asking, we are at the right time in this party, more than in 2018, for you with your secret ballot that we treasure, to send a message that we've got to reform this party. We've got to start moving towards new blood, new ideas, innovation, and people that are going to bring a new level of energy to these things.
Any other questions of Mr. Hicks? Thank you, Mr. Hicks.
Thank you.